Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? I am potentially pissed the fuck off. So, while we wait for the algorithm to do its thing and get people in here, let's talk a little bit. So very recently, I've gotten all of the brake pads and the rotors all switched on the Golf, my daily. And once I picked up from the shop, they did a 125-point inspection. And they were like, nothing's wrong. It's all good. Perfectly healthy car. Of course, less than 24 hours after that, the car slightly pulls to the right whenever I accelerate, get off the line. Once I'm going, I can let go of the steering wheel and it'll be straight. But this is only after, like, only once I start accelerating from a stop does it pull to the right. And what that usually means is the right front brake pad is not letting up as much. So it's uneven. I may need to rebleed the brakes. But now, I shoveled my car out of my driveway today to do some errands, and there was a lot of snow buildup around the car. And I think a lot of snow got into the car. The point is, as I was driving, I get above 50 miles an hour, the whole car, like, violently, like this, shakes. And if I accelerate even more, like, it's unbearable. Like, to the point where my voice was blah, 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 talking like this if I was driving along. Now, there could be one or two things that cause that. Either A, the extreme cold, moisture buildup from the snow warped the brake rotors, in which case they're shit rotors. I mean, the guy said they put genuine Volkswagen OEM parts on it, and unless I take off the wheel and I look at the rotors, I won't be able to tell. So I'm taking his word for it. Plus, I see the receipt. They had genuine Volkswagen part numbers on it. So either the extreme cold warped the rotor, which I don't think it did because I can spin the wheel and it doesn't wobble at low speeds, only when I hit about 50. So I don't think it's that. What also could happen is the ball joints and the tire rods could also be worn out. But because it was driving just fine before the snowstorm, that leads me to believe that there's just a bunch of snow and ice built up inside the wheel, throwing the wheel off balance. And that when I accelerate, because there's so much ice and snow built up in there, that's what causes the car to shake. I'm hoping it's that. But nevertheless, I didn't take any risks. The car washes were all, like, they had miles worth of lines around it. And all the manual washes I would go to are literally nothing but ice right now. I can't use it. So I'm hoping that tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, I can go get it washed and get all the snow and ice out of the wheels, and hopefully it'll be fine, because I didn't hit any potholes. I didn't drive like a crazy person. I literally just parked in my driveway and it got covered in snow. So I'm hoping it's just that. I'm hoping. If I get it washed and it still shakes at 50 miles an hour, then I will go Stone Cold Steve Austin on the shop and get them to fix it. I'll be like, hey, I've been bringing my car and paying the dealer tax to get it, serviced by certified Volkswagen technicians. And now I bring it to you, a third-party shop, and now it sucks. And now it's not driving correctly. Gotta fix it. It could be one or two, it could be any number of things. But what I think probability, based on the fact that it was driving just fine before the snowstorm, I believe that there's just a lot of snow and ice built up in the wheels. That's what I'm betting on is happening. Number two most likely scenario is bad ball joints and bad tire rods. Or C, warped rotors. Now, if they're genuine Volkswagen parts, I don't think it's the rotors, because I had this car last winter with genuine VW rotors on it, and it was fine. Drove just fine. So I don't think it's that. I genuinely believe that it's the snow. But either way, I didn't complete all my errands today because I didn't want to risk it if it's something crazy. All right. Other than that, yeah, if you didn't catch a stream last night, I mixed a set while the Seahawks and the Rams were going on. And I expressed genuine cheering interest in the Rams. And, of course, the Rams lost. And that's now 4 for 4. The teams I've cheered for in this postseason have all lost. So I'm a betting man. And whatever team I want to genuinely cheer for, bet on the opposite team. So I'm genuinely hoping the Patriots win. So bet on the Seahawks. That's just a little top tip right there for you guys. Yeah, I don't think it's the rotors. I honestly, that's why I put the rotors down there, because I would feel the rotors if the rotors were warped. I would feel it when braking. I should have mentioned that. If I'm braking and the rotors are warped, then it would do that as you're slowing down. It doesn't do that. It's perfectly smooth. So I don't think it's the rotors. I genuinely think it's just ice. Yeah, I you know what, now I think about it, this same shop I brought the Mustang to before I put it under wraps, and they made note of it that the Mustang needs ball joints just because they naturally wore out. And they didn't just charge me for it. They just told me that it needs to get done. So when I take the Mustang out in the spring, I'll get the ball joints replaced. So I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping it's not that. So yeah, I'm hoping it's just ice. But anyway, can't say ice too many times on public forums now because people will get triggered by the word ice. But that's neither here or there. Congrats on your work anniversary, 60K. Oh, thank you, good sir. Yes, we passed 60K. I am thrilled about that. Next stop is 75K. That's the next big milestone because I'll be 3/4 of the way to 100,000 and a gold plaque that I will hang up right there. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Hoping of one of my New Year's goals, I want to reach 100,000 by the end of the year. Hopefully, I'm waking up on Christmas morning this year with 100,000 subscribers. That's the goal. No idea why it auto-typed work. Whatever. All right, so tonight, I teased it in the last couple of streams. Tonight is part 1 of the mixing of what I'm calling my Magnum Opus. The song that I had a lot of creative input in how we did it, produced-wise. And in my opinion, out of all the songs I've ever mixed, recorded, produced, or whatever with all the bands I've worked with over the years, this one is apex. Like this one's the GOAT. This is my personal favorite just because the story behind this is this was recorded in May 2016. And by that point, the Foo Fighters came out and released my favorite album they ever did, Wasting Light, in 2011. That was all analog, done in Dave Grohl's house. Then the Sound City documentary came out. Probably the best documentary of music-wise I've ever seen. And it just further emphasized my philosophy of I'd rather have something like a recorded, like a drum performance or whatever, slightly off perfect timing on the grid, because that's what makes it musical. That's what makes it human. And why I don't like quantizing drums. You know, stuff like that. If you watch the documentary, you know what I'm talking about. And then the Foo Fighters released their other all-analog album, Sonic Highways, where they recorded in different studios around the country, but still didn't rely on a Pro Tools like grid system to make it perfect. So those 3 things heavily inspired why I do what I do and why I work the way I work and how I work. Hello there, Diane. So with this band, we were inspired by these three things, and the band wanted like the most rocking tune that they've ever written. And this is what we came up with. So before I make everything mono again and start mixing, I want a chance to be able to hear, I want you guys to be able to hear the whole song, and we'll go over the production and all that, and then we'll get started mixing. So let's get our minds freshened up with the song. Let's listen to the whole thing. Okay, so this song's called Killers by a band called Morningside Lane. They are no longer together. This was recorded in the basement of the drummer in May of 2016. And I actually do have quite a bit of photos from this session. So let me bring those up real quick. Open. Yes, I want to open 25 items. Thank you, computer. You're an M1 Max MacBook Pro. You should be able to open up 25 pictures from a cell phone. Okay. So let's go over everything step by step of how we did this. Okay, let's see. Will this work? Yes. Okay. So this is the interface on the board that we recorded with. This is a Behringer UFX1604. This was my daily driver for years. And this is what I used every day during my sessions. We didn't use any onboard effects here. We only recorded from the pre's in Logic Pro. This is Ori the drummer. And as you can see, we are in a basement using very cheap egg crate foam around the room because that's how he had his room. So the drums came in pretty dead sounding. If you ask me what brand of drums he has, I have no clue. I honestly do not know. I'm sure some eagle-eyed viewer will be able to see. Oh, you know what? I think the brand is right here. I can't. No, sorry, guys. I can't see. Maybe if we zoom in right here. Drum something. I don't know. So we have kick. We have a snare. He's left-handed, so the floor tom's on his left side. Rack tom. The kick drum we are using. I think I have one zoomed in thing of the kick drum. And then we have overheads. The overheads were recorded using Behringer B2s and an ORTF pattern. So basically they were on one stand and they were pointing opposite ways. XY, they cross one another. So this mic would aim this way, this mic would aim this way, and they would cross like that. And ORTF is basically an XY pattern, just reversed. So this mic was aiming this way, this mic was aiming this way. And it's on one stand. His hi-hat. Here's how I mic the snare drum. The snare drum and the toms were recorded using SM57s. And I had a classic, like, capture the crack. Like, as you can see, it's aimed smack dab in the middle of the drum. This is the typical mic pattern that captures the whole sound of the snare drum. If I angled it a little bit more, it would have captured a little more of the overtone. But I wanted the whole sound. I wanted the whole sound of the snare. Here's another view from my sitting position where Ori is currently sitting. Assuming when I took this picture, we were reviewing. He was listening to his performance. And this is drummer standing perspective of how the drum kit looked. As you can see, there's excellent separation between the hi-hat and the snare drum. So there's not a lot of bleed going on there. Excellent separation between the toms and his cymbals. Because Ori's a pro. And he took direction well. So I was able to get excellent sounding captures. Here's another view. Just to give like a perspective of like how small this room was where we recorded it. Like the overheads are maybe like 2 feet away from the top of the ceiling. Here's a angle of how I recorded the toms. Again, I wanted to minimize bleed as much as possible, so I aimed the mic a little bit more down instead of like a little more flat. Yes, this does give a little more of a overtone, but I wanted absolute separation. We had a room mic, but honestly, it didn't sound good at all. I wish I saved that room mic because now I actually have the plugins and the fake room to turn that into a real room mic, but we didn't use. I ended up not using it, and I ended up not saving that track. So unfortunately, I don't have it with me in this session. Another side view of the drum set, and here's a close-up of the kick drum. So we're using an EVPL33. That was my first kick drum mic. It's not a good kick drum mic, and the drums have to be like precisely tuned perfectly in order for that mic to be effective. Anything else other than a perfectly tuned drum set, that mic is going to sound like shit. But I think when we listen to these in solo, the kick drum came out sounding okay. But I'm probably going to add a sample to it anyway. Not completely replacing it. I'll just have a sample with the kick drum. Another wide view of the drum set as we recorded it. Let's see. Bass. We recorded bass DI, and we also mic'd up the bass cab. But again, I wish in hindsight I saved the bass mic track. Because I could have worked with that, but we don't have it. Because again, that mic just didn't sound good. It was just nothing but it just didn't sound good. It wasn't a good sounding cab either. So we don't have the mic up track. We just have the DI. We used basic blankets, and we used heavy blankets to cover up the guitars when we recorded it. And there's Jake, the bass player, tracking his bass. By the way, I like how Logic Pro has not changed its UI in 10 years. There's visually there's no difference between how Logic Pro looked 10 years ago and how it looks now. I just noticed that. Logic Pro is kind of dated looking. It's functional. And then I don't choose DAWs over how they visually look, but it is pretty damning, not going to lie. There's Mark recording his guitar. Again, there's blankets covering his guitar amp. And here's his guitar amp. Let's see. I don't know what specific model this Fender amp is. I think it's a Fender Blues. I don't know. I've encountered this amp countless times at Dingbats. I should know what model it is, but we use a single SM57 top-down view, slightly off-center, about 3 inches away from the speaker itself. That's where it sounded the best. And here are his settings on his amp. And that's it. Those are the photos I have from this, and unfortunately, this is the last session where I have photos of the session from work. Unfortunately, that's the hard drive that I had everything on got wiped, and most of my other recording sessions were lost, and all the photos I've documented of it were lost. So this is literally the last session that I have where I have documented photos of the recording process. So let's talk about now what I did producing wise with this track. So when we first came into the studio, or in this case the basement, the band pretty much had the let me turn down the volume a lot so I could talk over it. The band had pretty much this. Let's start from the beginning of the song and work our way. So the band basically had this. They just had that They basically had that. So one day when we were smoking a lot of weed and doing a lot of edibles, I made the suggestion of because the do 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 that sounds very reggae like. So I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if you added like a trippy reggae sound to just complement it? John, a guitar player, was like, that's actually a fabulous idea. And he came up with this. Underneath the main guitar part, it's pretty trippy sounding. The choruses, now, John had his part right here. As that screeching, like, center pan guitar, he was basically Pat smearing it. So, like, Mark was Dave Grohl, like, having the main rhythm part being, like, the overall guitar sound. And then, again, we're Foo Fightering the shit out of this. John was basically Pat Smear, and he had his cranked high gain distortion, pan center, just get that extra But the choruses, we originally only had this. And I said, for a chorus so epic sounding, you fucking need like gain vocals. Even something as simple as like like that. So John basically gave us this. And then I'm like, why don't all of us do this too? And I believe, yeah, I am somewhere in the background in this. We put the mic across the room, so the timing distance from our voice to get to the microphone is represented. Like all four of us, let's see, it was me, Mark, John, Ori, and Jake. So all five of us, we're not crowding around one mic like this, like I am right now. This mic would probably be like, it was roughly like 10 feet away from us. And we just did the harmony parts. We just did that. And then that combined with, oh, what the hell I just do? Okay, I didn't want to do that. And then combined with those things, we went from this to this. And then finally at the end, I'm like, we got to polish this off because we only had this to close out the chorus. And they originally wanted to like quad Mark's vocal. I'm like, no. To cap off a chorus like that, all of us need to get in. So all of us did the same thing as a backing vocal when we were going like, oh, we did that. We did the same thing again for this. It all comes down to the way you see your face. And again, this is the end result of that. It all comes down to the way you see your face. Let's move on to the bridges. And this is where I'm particularly happy with. The original gain vocal, the only other gain vocals that we were going to have from the band were this little thing before chorus 2. So tell me, who are you? That was originally going to be the only gain vocal that we had in the whole song. I'm like, no, we could do better than that, guys. What the hell did I just... Yeah, thank you. I accidentally deleted that. The bridge, probably my favorite part of the whole song. Like, this is probably my favorite part of the song. Keep the top of trying. Something so fucking simple as adding gang vocals between that was... It just spices it up so well. So we did this at the end, and this is what I'm most proud of at the very end. So at the very end of the song, to exit, we didn't have any of this shit. We had the original was going to be Mark doing a bunch of ohs right here, because that's what all these are right here. It sounds like he's having a really bad orgasm. So that was the original, to just have the song play out like that. But I'm like, you have all this space right here, guys. Why can't we have something to just make it more fucking epic? So I said, there's got to be something there. And I just made this suggestion. And John was like, give me 5 minutes, let me cook. And he came up with this really awesome guitar part. It's just a simple thing. Do, 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 do. But then he took it an extra step further and added on this part. And combined, you get this. So we were all like, okay, that sounds awesome. But I'm like, what if we do gang vocals and just follow the notes of that? Do, 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 throughout the rest of it. And they were like, at this point, they got sick of me and they were like, listen, we appreciate your enthusiasm, but like, no. And I'm like, humor me on this just once. Just humor me. Let's just do one. And they're like, all right, fine. We'll do one instance and then we'll just politely, Chris, shut the fuck up. We did it. They heard it and they're like, God damn it, we're doing 3 more. So I'm like, okay, we got rid of the bad orgasm. Yeah, we got rid of those. And instead we got this. And then that just brought everything together to just... It's like literally when you bake a cake and you put all the frosting around it and it looks good and it's passable. I mean, it's a cake, good icing, it's great. They're just missing that little something that will take a $10 cake in a store that's just basic cake and icing, and then have that same basic cake and icing, but you could sell it for 3 times the price because it looks like $1 million. And then that's how a pastry chef like puts the little roses on it or whatever. This was that. And then combined together, we get that whole song. So this is a song where I had a lot of my creative input actually kept to tape here. So Oy. Dove is saying, for a room mic in the same size room, let's treat it with a condenser mic pointing the opposite side. Works right. Yes, I'm aware of that now, but in 2016, 10 years ago when I recorded this, I didn't. So that's the only reason why it's like that, because I didn't know. Okay, so now that we went over everything, you've seen how I recorded everything. You've seen how we wrote and produced a song. You've seen me talk about this for quite some time now. I think now is only appropriate to actually start getting this mixed. So let's do that. Let's bring everything back, pan center, and at unity. Because now we're actually going to do this. The first thing I got to do is, and we're only going to do this for the most part until my ears are just done for the night, because I want to do this properly. Like, I'm treating this like it's a new client now. I'm treating this like I'm actually like doing this for a paid client. So I want to do this properly. So the first thing we got to do, after just hearing the raw parts, the vocals sound great. I might not need to do a lot of EQing with that. Mark singing at the high notes that he was singing at, I may need to do some tweaking around like 8 to 10K, considering that I recorded his vocal on the C214, and that already is a very aggressive high end. I might need to do some tweaking on that. His rhythm guitar sounds fantastic, so I may need to bump up a little bit of like 1.5K to just give it that little, grungy extra. But the drums are going to need a lot of reverb because they were recorded in a very dead room. So, but the first thing I got to do with all of this is I got to align the drums and get them phase aligned. So, that's what we're going to do first. So I soloed my drum bus here, and then we'll add auto align to it. Yeah, like the drums themselves sound great. Like, I could probably work with that kick drum. As in, like, I can get it to go where I need it to, where I want the sound to go. The overheads sound good too, so that's what happens when you actually take time to tune the drums, try everything out, and see what sounds good. Patience, people. Patience goes wonders. Let me just get a rough level of the drums, and then I'll add auto line so I can hear the difference. All right, and now let's get auto line going. By the way, when doing this with Autoline, always do it in an area where there's a lot of tom hits. So the overhead, so the plugin can hear the toms from the overheads. All right, so with this, phase corrected on the floor tom, slight phase correction on the overhead left. Not bad. -6 samples and -13 samples for between the overheads. So which means I aligned the overheads pretty decently. But the floor tom, this instance, Autoline read everything from the perspective of the floor tom mic. Fascinating. Usually they do it from the kick, but I guess it chose to do it from the floor. So let's see what that sounds like. Oh yeah, you can hear it immediately. You can hear it immediately. A lot of extra oomph in the kick and the floor tom. And that's what really this plugin does. It helps you significantly with the low end. So you're not fighting the phase with that. Let's see, any more tracks that need auto align? No, because that's one instance of all right, so those are two different rhythm tracks. So two different parts. So yeah, there's no other stereo tracks or anything with two microphones that needs auto line. Okay, so that's good. Now that we got that, let's bust out my toms. Or my overheads at least. That's what I meant to say. Because I only have a rack and floor, I may process them separately. But just in case, let me bust these out. Okay. And one thing I'm definitely going to want to do is I'm going to want to snare, and I'll bring the kick in there too, is I'm going to want a room mic. So we're going to make a fake room sound with this. So actually, before we do any of that, let's mix out the room sound. So we definitely want, I'm going to do it pre-fader. Let's start with the overheads at 0. Let's start with the snare drum. Again, pre-fader. All right. Now we got our room sound. Let's make the fake room sound. Let's make the fake room noise. And my go-to for making a fake room, UA's Ocean Way Studios. This sounds a lot better than the Sound City one for what I'm doing. Otherwise, I would use the Sound City one. But this one for some reason just has that more natural big room sound that I like. All right, that's a good starting point for now. Okay. Next, what I like to do is I like to just get the preamp and the EQ right, because usually that could take care of a lot of problems with just the preamp EQ. So you guys already know what I'm going for. You already know what I'm about to pull up. My go-to is the UA Neve 1073. I fucking love how this thing works, especially on drums. Of course, what I should have done was what I should have gotten is Black Salt Audio Silencer and noise gate the thing first. That's what I should have done. Yeah, look, there's no high end at all in this kick drum. It's all thud. So what I'm also going to do there is have a reference track if I need it, and probably in the next session I'll do it off off air because I don't want to do it now. I'm going to have Bridge Burning by Foo Fighters, aka my favorite song off of Wasting Light. That'll be sort of my mix level inspiration for this. So I just want to keep that there for now, but I just want to get the basic like fundamentals of this laid down first. Yeah. Now let's see if we can get this kick drum sounding a little snappier. All right, so what I did here, because I just realized I had my microphone muted, what I did here was I created a track stack, because look at how many tracks are here, and it's just really annoying to have to scroll over and whatever. So there you go. That creates that. There's still in peak mode, there's a little bit of high end, but like how I monitor is RMS, and like RMS basically is like the average. So there's not a lot of average high end in that. So we're gonna have to do some tweaking with that. The PL33 is an absolute shit kick drum mic, but if I'm gonna make this work, I gotta make that work. But for now, let's get the snare drum noise gated. Fuck. I'm gonna have to edit that. Edit all these snare hats out. I'm just gonna have to. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to cut in real time. All right. All right. Let's do second verse. Okay. All right, now I can get the tom sounding right. I forgot how harsh those Behringer B2 condensers sound. They really don't sound good as far as overheads go. I wish I could re-record those with my Lewitts. I want to probably process the bass first. I'm really feeling processing the bass. Don't need those. Yeah, let me process the bass just so I can finalize that low end. Because if I got the low end to mix, everything else will just flow naturally. Yeah, there's no way around it. I'm going to add a kick sample to this. There's just no way around this thing. It's just not a good kick drum mic. I feel bad, but if I want to do this right, I can't. I gotta have a sample. Now the question is, what sample to go for? I usually always go for the CLA DWs. Usually that sounds good. Oh, that one sounds good. That one has way too much bass. That one sounds good. Range minimum, range max, 100 and 110. All right, kick drum is sounding okay right now. Still have a lot of things that aren't like EQ'd right and compressed. So let me at least like get the low end right with the kick and bass. So that way I can map everything else around it. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I did a lot there without really narrating that much. Okay. Yeah, guys, smash the like button on this. I'm really, like, this is going to take a lot longer than my usual streams, which is why I'm going to split this up in parts. I think once I get the drums mostly finalized, I mean, the bass is pretty much processed now. The bass is pretty much processed. The drums are just, like, cleaned up a little bit. I got to add more compression. I got to add EQ. And I think once I get, like, the drums roughly finished and the bass fully finished, I think I might call that a night for session 1 of this. Because already my ears are starting to get a little tired. Okay. Let me catch up with the chat. Not really talkative. You guys are mainly just watching tonight. Not really chatting that much. But in the meantime, yeah, it's I can't wait till I start I can't wait to start showing you guys the mix breakdown of the new song that we're working on. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on here, like session wise. But I think I have enough. I think I could give a little bit of a tiny sneak peek, right? This is the latest that I'm working on. It's not completely done, but it's like 95% done. This is just a tiny bit. That's it. That's all you're going to get. It's just about done. Once the band approves of that mix, I'll save that template to the other 3 songs on this EP. And then I'll let the band decide when they want to release it. But that's just a tiny sneak peek. It's fucking brutal. It is fucking badass with all the drums and the bass going on there. It rocks. Even my so my Golf GTI is the SE trim, so it doesn't have the updated Harman Kardon. I think that's how it's said, like Harman Kardon, whatever. It doesn't have that upgraded. No, I think for the 2020 model years, Fender had the high-end sound system. It doesn't have it. So I just have the basic sound system from Volkswagen, and it sounds really good even in my car. So that's a good lie detector sound system is my Golf GTI's radio. All right. So let's continue here. So what I've been really finagling is the low end with this. I want this to be a nice full low end. We're not doing a lot of double kick here, so no need for the double kick to have that much space in the low end and mask the bass that much, like that metal sample I just played. But what we need to do is I need to make sure that the bass, that the kick drum has a little bit of an oomph to it too. So while the bass guitar is covering all that low end space, I want the kick to have a little bit of punch through it. So that's what I was doing with these Pro Q3s on the kick drum and the bass guitar. Whatever I do here, I do the opposite of over here. And since the bass guitar didn't need that boost at 124, because then that would be overwhelming, I just took out a little bit of 124 on the kick drum, and then that naturally just brought out that frequency even more on the bass guitar. But really, 60 is where it's at. Take out 60 on the bass, boost 60 on the kick. I want the sub lows here to be dominant by the bass, so I boosted it here, took a little bit out there. And now what I think I should do is reverse this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the ducking effect and just reapply this. Yeah, that's sounding pretty groovy right now. Okay. Now let's get the snare drum processed. I think I might add a sample to the snare, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I lied. I am going to add a snare sample to this. Because we didn't have a snare bottom mic. I think the top snare mic sounds great, but we're missing that crackle from the bottom snare mic. So that's what I'm going to do here. Pre-fader. Bring that to 0. Yeah, that's so much more like it. That is much better. Much better. All right, now I can process this snare drum in relation to the kick. Let me get the kick and snare sounding really good. Yeah, that's sounding pretty dope. That's sounding pretty decent. I realized I had my mic on the whole time, so I'll play it a couple times with my mic off. DW Maple top. All right, now it's starting to sound a little groovy here. Needed that extra oomph from the snare sample. It's just, again, 10 years ago I recorded this, so probably could have mic'd it a little bit better. Better environment could have been a little bit better, you know. But if we want like the modern, like style of mixing with, you know, hard rock songs. Unfortunately, I got to incorporate a sample to it, but in the end, I don't really care. The end result is, does it sound good? That's the only question I ask. If the answer is yes to that question, does it sound good? Then it stays. I mean, fuck my principles, you know? Normally I'm really stubborn with the whole I never use samples. Normally I don't, but I'm not completely replacing the sound with a sample. I'm incorporating samples to add to the original sound. That's at least that's the way I'm looking at it. Okay. Let's get the toms. Let's get the toms sounding decent. I think the kick and snare pretty much process where they're going to be. Save this. Yeah, okay. Let's start with this rack tom. that is a good place to stop for tonight. Drums are essentially done. The bass is definitely done. And as you can hear, like, the drums are cutting through just fine, and I haven't even done anything to the guitars yet. The guitars are completely raw, and like I said in the beginning of this, I might just need to adjust a little bit of EQ in the guitar, and that's about it. Sounds fucking sick, actually. I prematurely put everything in stereo. I prematurely panned shit, so let me correct the panning. I just wanted to hear what it was sounding like, and I'm very happy with it. So I think this is a good spot to stop tonight, and then we'll continue this on, because my ears are now, they're done. Especially that last part where I was listening to the pan guitars, I was like to the point where my monitor was distorting. It was that loud. So, not too bad. So we'll pick this up on another time, probably, maybe tomorrow. If not, then probably Wednesday. I want to give my ears a proper like rest to listen to this. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll continue with part 2 of this. Good night.